Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Flowers are blooming and the trees and grass are beginning to green. Nature is at its finest after a long winter, and to commemorate the changing season, Ann Arbor hosted their 47th annual Earth Day.
Leslie Science and Nature Center is the ideal locale to experience the natural world during Earth Day.
Earth Day is very important because it kind of can jumpstart the rest of the year where, you know, every day we can make it Earth Day. Every day we could be planting trees, we could be recycling, we could be biking, and I think that it's a good kickoff for the nice weather and the support of the environment throughout the year.
We're here with our stations and our volunteers for people to learn and engage and realize that there are other options besides just the trash. And again, that goes back to working with the food vendors and making sure their packaging is compostable or recyclable.
All the fun and festivities were had while making little to no impact on the environment.
On average, we've been able to divert about 92% of the waste from the landfill.
We have some exhibitors here from area nonprofits and organizations talking a little bit about what they do to make Everyday Earth Day. So we have kids activities, we have some macroinvertebrates from the Huron River Watershed Council, and then we also have some live music going on. We have the All Species Parade happening.
Project Grow even provided the skills to making an everlasting garden.
We're showing different ways of keeping plants from freezing, and we're basically our small mini hoop houses. We have a variety from simple things like finding an old window and getting bales of hay and putting that on top to keep it from freezing.
A lot of times you hear about your environmental footprint, and I like to think about the environmental handprint of how you can help. And so maybe that's what Earth Day could be about today.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. There are approximately 13,000 kids in the foster care system in Michigan alone. One local organization is on a mission to deplete that number by dedicating themselves to inclusivity.
Local adoption and foster care agency, Hands Across the Water, is being recognized for their services to the modern family.
There's a celebration and an honor is being bestowed on Hands Across the Water for their work with LGBTQ youth and families.
We're celebrating Hands Across the Water's 7th consecutive year being recognized by the Human Rights Commission for our All Children, All Families Leadership Seal of Recognition for our work with LGBTQ families and children.
The organization wants people to know how important a foster family can be in a child's life.
We're having really an extreme shortage of foster families. There are times when we can't find placement for a baby, even temporarily, even one night, and I kind of just feel like in a community like Ann Arbor, this should never happen.
We're waiting right now to adopt a child from southeastern Michigan, and so we wanted to touch base with the community here that's helping hopefully match us in the future with our baby, and we wanted to help support them and all that they do for our community.
For more on adoption and fostering services with Hands Across the Water, visit hatpw.org. Our four-legged friends love to get out of the house, smell the fresh air, and go for a brisk walk or run. Learn about dog licensing, leash laws, and more in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hey guys, my name is Matt Morrow with the City Clerk's Office, and today we're going to talk about dog licensing, dog parks, and Ann Arbor's leash laws. So dog licensing is extremely important, not only because it's state law, but it's also regulated by local ordinances. So Ann Arbor provides 3 different options in 1, 2, and 3-year intervals based on the rabies vaccination expiration date. Moving on from there, if you want access to one of these wonderful parks, you're going to need a dog park pass. For Swift Run, It's going to cost $35. Olson and Broadway can come together at $15, and that leaves All City at $45. In regards to the leash law, when the animal is outside in an open area such as this, it needs to be on the leash. However, inside one of these gated areas, the animal is free to roam. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at our phone number, 734-794-6140. Or for additional information, please go to www.a2gov.org.
It is tough growing old. You don't want to lose your independence or be a burden to your family. For most, living in a nursing home seems like the last option. But what if your kids are forcing the idea? Happy Birthday, Dear Alice tackles these themes head-on as parents and their spawn butt heads in this touching comedy. Joining me is Adrian, Diffey, and Fran, directors of Mind the Gap's production of Happy Birthday, Dear Alice. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Before we get into Happy Birthday, Dear Alice, can you kind of tell us your background with Mind the Gap? Because this was not an original production company here in the Ann Arbor area.
True. Right. Well, Mind the Gap actually was formed in Luxembourg in about 2001 or 2. I can't quite remember exactly the year. And we started doing plays on our own, and then we linked up with the National Theatre, which was a great opportunity. And by 2010, we were offered a part in a really great play called Copenhagen by Michael Fran, just a three-hander. And Fran, myself, and another actor took part in that. And from then on, we sort of linked closely with the National Theatre. And then finally, in 2012, which is just before we packed our bags and flew over to the USA for good, we did a production called The Birthday Party by Harold Pinter. And that was really a real high point, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably...
You seem to have a birthday party themed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it keeps running.
Yeah.
Long may it continue, I'd say.
It seems to be working for you. So.
Yeah, so far.
So, Mind the Gap, yeah, and then we came to Luxembourg, came from Luxembourg to the USA and set up home here in 2013. And since then we've been in some community theatre productions and some professional productions, and a couple of years ago set up sort of, I suppose, compiled would be the term. I didn't write it, but compiled a show called Heroes of British Comedy. And that was
your first show back with Mind the Gap here in Ann Arbor, or Southeast Michigan.
Right, Denha Theatre, in fact. Yeah, it was in Mangiamo restaurant in Saline, which I thought is no longer there. It's nothing to do with us. That was a good show, I think, and we then took it to Northville, to the Marquee Theatre. It's a charming theatre that actually Christina Zajcek, who runs it, specialises in children's theatre. And we put that show, we expanded the show and did it again. And our third production was The Lesson, which we did twice, once in Waterford and once in Ann Arbor. And now we're doing Happy Birthday, Dear Alice, an Irish comedy.
So tell me a little bit about Happy Birthday, Dear Alice, and what made you want to bring this show to Ann Arbor?
You're the one who wanted to bring the show to Ann Arbor.
You may interpret that it's probably a bit one-sided. I thought this is a great show, and Fran thinks it is. I'm sure she deep down believes it is a great show.
But it's hard.
It's technically very difficult to produce. There's a lot going on backstage. You need lots of technical assistance. It's 2 hours, so it's it's a long play. Obviously, there's an intermission. Act 1 is 1 hour, and Act 2 approximately the same. So there's 6 actors. So for Mind the Gap, this is a big jump from being doing small dinner theatre.
So this is probably technically the hardest show you've done since you've been here.
But by far.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why Fran warned me when I was thinking of writing asking for the rights to do the show, which is also quite expensive. Think about it, So I thought, well, I'll get some help on, the technical aspect. So, but currently I am the technical. I'm doing the lot, but it's working.
It's interesting because you don't see a lot of shows where it's surrounding an older characters,
Right.
which I think is interesting. Does that kind of attract you to the show, that you do have these older characters that you can work with, where it's not that typical show where you're looking for someone probably 20 to 40 range?
We have that range in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. There are six characters, three men and three women. I just think the theme is really clever. I think that Bernard Farrell, who's a very successful Irish playwright, brings out a theme that resonates with lots of people. Going, as you mentioned in your introduction, going into a nursing home or into care is a big thing, and often promotes lots of tension in the family. And in the case of this comedy, I think it's pretty clear that the children are not listening to what Alice is saying to them.
And Jimmy's kind of her support system.
Jimmy's her support, but he has a problem because he can't hear properly. So this is what the comedy's tied into that a bit. But Alice and Jimmy have a lot in common, and without giving too much away, it's the story unfolds, and there's an ongoing relationship that goes back. And in the play, you go back in time, seeing Jimmy and Alice when they first met, and then come forward into the present. So we constantly change time.
So that's where a lot of the technical issues come into play.
With lighting and sound and music, not to mention other things that happen. But so
it's a nice little tease for the show. When is it?
Right, we open on the 3rd of May.
Esther, why are you looking at me?
Well, because I'm trying to include you.
That's okay.
Okay. She really likes the play, actually. They open on the 3rd and we close on the 20th. So we have 12 performances.
That's a lot, actually, for a lot of community theater. So you get 2-3 performances, maybe 4.
Yeah, but we're really pushing the boat out.
Well, if you're doing, it's actually nice when you put in a lot of work like that to have multiple performances, because if you only do 2-3, it's you put in all this work for months and then it's just over.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, exactly. And I've been in productions where I've not been the director, actor, and I've sort of said, oh, what a pity, we only do 4 performances. We've done all this work. So, from that point of view, and also if the play really works with the public, then the word gets out, and you hope that in the 2nd and 3rd weeks the attendance numbers increase.
Yeah. Where is it?
At Theatre Nova, which is opposite the YMCA. I always tell people that.
And West Huron.
West Huron Street, yeah. So it's got good free parking, so there's no problem to.
And what about tickets? Do you need to get them in advance, or?
There are 80 seats approximately, so online you can book tickets. I mean, you can turn up at the.
You can just show up at the door and get tickets,
yeah.
And you have 12 chances to see, so.
Yeah. We think that the afternoon on the Sunday matinee will be pretty much the most popular.
Yeah.
Judging by past experiences on that. But Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday evening, we start at 7:30. We start half an hour earlier than some other shows because it's such a long show.
So you don't want people to be super late at night
watching
it.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so we're just about out of time, but if you both want to say why people should come see Happy Birthday, Dear Alice, for your own reasons.
Well, it's just really purely coincidental. But as it turns out, at least 2 of us involved in this production, it's amazing because in our own real lives, we're involved in exactly the same situation. Caretaking for elderly parents and placing them, and so it's a bit it's a bit coincidental. Yeah.
Theatres like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Reflects life. One last thing I would say is a production in Luxembourg. We put it on for 4 nights, which wasn't very much, but we managed to raise incredibly a huge sum of money for charity. We gave the money away to children's hospitals, and we raised, at the time of the exchange rate euro to dollar, we raised $16,000 in 4 nights. It was a big theatre.
Yeah.
And it was nearly full every night. So, it was, and that gave me fond memories of the production, but also thought, wow, this play was so popular with the public, you know.
That you really felt like doing it again would resonate with audiences.
I think it will, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and the
certainly hope so.
population in general is getting older and older.
Well, and it doesn't really matter what your age is, because at some point you're going to be
gonna be-
dealing
yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, well, thank you both for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for
yeah.
having us.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.